Hello guys, welcome back to Neo Comics. I am your host Dr. Manish and today I'll be reviewing one omnibus which was recommended to me by a lot of people. There were many raving reviews on the internet, many YouTubers were recommending it, some of my friends were also singing praises of this omnibus and thus I ordered it and I read it. And I kept on reading and reading, waiting ki eventually I'll get to the point where I'll actually start enjoying it. But alas, the omnibus was over and all I was left with was disappointment. And दोस्तों, that omnibus is none other than the planetary omnibus. So without any more further delay, चलिए शुरू करते हैं इसका review. Let's get started. So here is the omnibus. The planetary omnibus is a very one and done kind of omnibus. You don't have to read anything before this or after this. And that's a pretty great thing about this. Because it is going to be a review video, we'll be talking about both the good and the bad as well. Now, one of the things that I absolutely loved about this omnibus is the treatment that was given to the cover, which is beneath the dust jacket. So let me remove the dust jacket. And as you can see, it looks very posh. I mean, the design is amazing. It says Planetary Guide. Here is the spine, Warren Ellis, John Cassaday, and here is the back. So that does look pretty nice, right? So guys, here we can see that the Planetary Omnibus has total 27 issues. And there are 3 more crossover stories. So you will be getting a total of 30 issues in this omnibus with a whopping 800 plus page count. So it's a decent sized omnibus. There is sufficient reading material in this one. Now let me give you a little premise for the story. The story is about Elijah Snow, who is the protagonist, and there are 2 more characters. So this is Elijah Snow over here. The other 2 characters are Jakita Wagner and the drummer. So this is Jakita, this fierce, beautiful and bold lady. So she and the drummer are searching for Elijah Snow because they both want him in the team. And they are forming the planetary organization. So they are the archaeologists of ideas. And I'm not going to explain to you what exactly that is. You will have to read this to find out. So this is the drummer and now they have formed a team. So the first 1/3 of this omnibus is dedicated towards finding the 4th man, the 4th member of the team. And it's kind of elusive at this point. So yeah, who the 4th member is and what are his secrets, all those things are excavated in the first 1/3 of the book. And as we progress we can find that there are many one and done kind of issues, यानी कि एक ही issue में कहानी खत्म हो रहा है and it's one shot. The story has started and it's over. The story about an individual or an idea, but the main plot acts like subplot in these issues. The main story progresses in the background and I had a major issue with that and I'll explain all that to you in a moment. So here you can see, I think this is a good reference to Mothra. And here is another kaiju which looks like, yeah, you guessed it right, Godzilla. So there are many such references as this. Here you get the reference of the Invisible Man. So as you can see, the pop culture, pulp fiction, all those different various genres have been covered here. The artwork is amazing and yeah, the issue with all this is that the main story loses so much focus. When you keep on giving references issues after issues for like Invisible Man, Godzilla, Mothra, Doctor Who, Sherlock Holmes, James Bond, and there is also another significant chunk of the book dedicated towards another group of superheroes, and that is another reference altogether, and I'll tell that to you as well. So in the first half of the book we get to know who the 4th man is, who the 4th member is. In the second third of the book we get to explore the story about 4 astronauts. So these 4 people goes out in space and they meet with an accident out there and then they gain superpowers from it. Rings a bell? Well, आप में से जो लोग smart enough है, they have already figured it out. It's none other than the reference to the Fantastic Four. So the second third of the book is dedicated towards Warren Ellis's version of the Fantastic Four for the universe of Planetary and their interactions with the planetary organization. So yeah, let me show those to you as well. Meanwhile, you can enjoy the fascinating artwork. And there we go. So this is the Fantastic Four reference, if I'm not wrong. And here we also have the Green Lantern reference. So you get the idea, right? Then we also have Thor reference over here. And we have Tarzan reference. And there is also references of the Zorro. Yeah, here. So my problem with all this was how secondary the overall planetary storyline felt. Warren Ellis was so hell-bent on wooing his readers with all these amazing references one after another, he forgot that he is writing The Planetary. Almost the 60-70% of this book felt like the main plot was in the backseat. It was compromised like nothing I have ever read. I get it, right? We all love a little, pulp fiction and pop culture reference here and there. But entire issues after issues being dedicated to these such references felt like this omnibus was a tribute or a love letter to all those different franchises. And that is why I guess this felt so overrated to me. If I want to read a Godzilla story, I'll pick up a Godzilla comic book or a graphic novel. If I want to read a little about Fantastic Four, I'll pick up a Fantastic Four trade paperback from Marvel. Sherlock Holmes, James Bond, Doctor Who, Tarzan, Zorro, ये सब पढ़ने के लिए ना मुझे Planetary खरीदने का ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. So that irritated me beyond measure, and also the fact that towards the end it became so technical and so scientific that as a reader, those of us who are seeking for entertainment or a little peace of mind will feel disturbed. Although I absolutely loved a few concepts about time traveling that has been explained or used here, those felt very creative, those were very thought-provoking, and it will make you question that these writers are also a little scientific minded if they want to be. So yeah, some ideas and concepts that are used here are amazing, but the end felt a little anticlimactic. There was too much science stuff going on and you will lose interest towards the end. Like, it literally took me an entire week to finish this. I was just waiting at what point will I actually start enjoying this omnibus, and that point never came. Although I finished reading it, and yeah, I did enjoy the one shots at the end about the crossovers with especially the Batman. So I loved that one. Yeah, here it is. So this was the highest point for me from this omnibus, and there was a crossover with the Authority. Yeah, this one. So the Authority is yet another creation of Warren Ellis, but this was also not enjoyable. I don't know, I think I have an issue with Warren Ellis or something. So yeah, these are the last couple of issues. This is between Batman and the Planetary, and there is one between the Planetary and Justice League of America. So yeah, there are 3 one-shots. You can see the Joker over here. So you can see Batman has put drummer on gunpoint, and this is a very classic old suit. The Batman keeps on changing suits in this story for some reason. And yeah, with that we come to the end. So here are a bunch of extras, the cover arts. Let me quickly flip this for you. And here are a bunch of script pages and character designs. And with that we come to the end of it. So yeah guys, I absolutely love the artwork. There is no second opinion that the art is fantastic. Like, it was almost 10 years in making. It started in 1999 and then it was ended in 2007 or 2009, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, it took about a decade to complete the story, and I have very mixed feelings. There are some really peak points in the story where I liked it, be it the time travel concepts or be it the different pop culture references, but I started hating it when the pop culture and pulp fiction references were being extremely overdone. Like, those references took over the entire storyline and I was irritated beyond measure. I anyhow finished it, but after finishing an omnibus, we all want to feel a little satisfaction, contentment. But all I felt was frustration and irritability because I had very high hopes. Maybe that is another reason why I didn't like it as much, is because all the hype that it had created, all the positive raving reviews, all the praises that I was hearing all over the internet. So that might have spiked my expectations level by a lot, but yeah, then I was left with disappointment when I was finished with reading the Planetary Omnibus. And guys, that's my review for you all, and the takeaway message is that do not go for any review that you see out there. As an individual, we all have varied opinions and this might happen to you as well. After finishing this omnibus, I shared my experiences with a bunch of my friends who are into comic books, and many of my friends who have finished reading this have also attested to the fact that they felt kind of very similar to exactly what I had felt. Even they could not find what the hype was about. So yeah, that can happen to any one of you. It's better to just go ahead and read whatever is interesting to you. Even if you are going to buy something, or even if you're trying to make your mind up, it's better to go for as many reviews as you can gather, just to get a proper good idea about the different kind of reading experience that people have had reading that particular comic book. So yeah, that's it for today guys, and I'll be seeing you all in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.